The council chamber floated in the darkness of space like a giant crystal bubble. Inside, representatives from 47 different worlds sat in their special chairs. Each chair was made for different body types. Some aliens needed water tanks. Others needed low-gravity fields. A few breathed methane instead of oxygen. Stood in the center of the chamber. He was a human from Earth, wearing a simple blue uniform. His black hair was neat, and he carried a data tablet in his hand. He looked calm, but his heart was beating fast. This was the moment Earth had been preparing for during the last 3 years. "Honorable council members," began, his voice steady, "I am of Earth. I bring my world's application to join the Galactic Council." A tall, thin alien with purple skin and 4 eyes stood up. This was council leader. He had led the council for 200 years. "We have received your application, human. We are reviewing your planet's data now." Around the chamber, holographic screens appeared in front of each council member. They showed images and numbers about Earth. Watch their faces change. Their eyes grew wide. Some made sounds of shock. Others leaned back in their chairs as if scared. A short, orange alien with tentacles spoke first. "This cannot be correct. Your gravity reading is wrong." "The reading is accurate," said. "Earth's gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared." "That is 3 times our standard," the orange alien said. "Nothing can live under such crushing force." Another alien, covered in soft fur, pointed at her screen. "The temperature data makes no sense. Your world swings from -40 degrees to +50 degrees Celsius. These extremes would destroy any settlement." "Those are natural conditions on Earth," explained. "Different regions have different temperatures." "Regions?" a reptilian alien hissed. "You mean your entire world experiences these torture conditions?" Nodded, "Yes, though some areas are more stable than others." Council leader raised one of his long fingers. The chamber became quiet. "Let us review this data systematically." He touched his screen, and a large hologram of Earth appeared in the center of the room. "First, the atmospheric pressure," said. "It is so thick that it would crush most of our species. Second, your world is covered in a corrosive liquid called water. This water fills 70% of your surface." "Water is essential for life on Earth," said. "Essential for death, you mean," said the furry alien. "Water corrodes our technology. It dissolves our building materials. And you say life lives in this substance." "Yes, most Earth life began in the oceans." The council members made sounds of disbelief. Some shook their heads. Others touched their screens, checking the data again. A blue crystalline alien spoke in a musical voice. "I have analyzed your geological data. Your world experiences constant earthquakes. Volcanoes erupt regularly. Massive storms with wind speeds of 300 kilometers per hour are common. How does any structure survive?" "We build to withstand these forces," said. "Our architecture accounts for natural disasters." "Natural disasters," the crystalline alien's voice rose higher. "These events happen naturally, all the time." "Earth is a geologically active planet," confirmed. Council leader scrolled through more data. His face showed confusion and concern. "Your sun emits dangerous radiation. Your world has no proper magnetic shielding. Life on the surface is exposed to cosmic rays, ultraviolet light, and solar winds." "Our planet has a magnetic field," said. "It protects us from the worst radiation." "The worst," repeated. "What reaches the surface would still be deadly to 90% of council species." The orange tentacled alien pulled up new screens. "I have found the biological data. By the stars. Your world has categories of predatory animals. Look at this creature called a bear. It weighs 600 kilograms, can run 50 kilometers per hour, and has claws like blades." "Bears generally avoid humans," said. Generally," the alien's tentacles waved wildly. "This means sometimes they do not avoid you." "Sometimes we encounter them, yes." Another alien, looking like a floating jellyfish, pulsed with red light. I am reading about your microbial life. Your world contains billions of microscopic organisms. Many are hostile. They invade bodies and cause disease. How do you survive constant infection? Our immune systems fight off most infections, explained. Immune systems. You have internal defense systems against constant biological warfare. The jellyfish alien pulsed faster. What kind of world requires this? Council leader stood again. He looked tired. Human, I must be honest with you. We have classified worlds by danger level for 3,000 years. Class 1 is paradise. Perfect temperature, low gravity, no predators, stable conditions. Class 5 is difficult but manageable. Class 7 is considered hostile. He paused and looked directly at. Your world, Earth, registers as Class 9. That is the highest danger rating we have ever recorded. We cannot understand how any settlement survives there. Did your ancestors crash land? Are you descendants of a lost colony ship? Took a slow breath. This was the question he had been waiting for. Around the chamber, all the aliens watched him with their various eyes. Some leaned forward. The room was completely silent. The furry alien spoke softly. You said you bring an application from your world. How many survivors are in your colony? Do you need evacuation? We can arrange rescue ships. We do not need rescue, said. Then what do you need? Asked. Medical supplies, terraforming equipment. We have protocols for failed colonies on death worlds. There is no shame in admitting your settlement cannot survive. Met the council leader's eyes. You misunderstand. We are not a colony. We are not settlers from another world. The orange alien's tentacles stopped moving. What do you mean? Earth is not our settlement, said clearly. Earth is our home. We did not colonize this planet. We evolved there. Humans are native to Earth. The chamber erupted in noise. Aliens stood up from their chairs. Some shouted in languages did not know. Others simply stared at him like he had said something impossible. The jellyfish alien's color changed from red to bright white. Council leader held up both hands. Slowly, the noise decreased. That is impossible. No known species evolved on anything worse than Class 4 conditions. You are saying intelligent life evolved on a Class 9 death world. Yes, said simply. The reptilian alien hissed. Then how did your colony survive on such a nightmare planet? Allowed himself a small smile. As I said, it is not a nightmare to us. It is home. The silence in the council chamber was heavy. Every alien stared at. Some had their mouths open. Others had stopped moving completely. The hologram of Earth rotated slowly in the center of the room, showing blue oceans and green continents. Council leader sat down slowly in his chair. You evolved on this world. You are saying your species developed naturally in these conditions. Yes, said. Humans have lived on Earth for over 200,000 years. Our evolutionary ancestors go back millions of years before that. The crystalline alien made a sound like breaking glass. That is scientifically impossible. The gravity alone would crush developing life forms. How could intelligence evolve when all energy goes to simply surviving? Touched his tablet. New holographic images appeared around the room. They showed human anatomy. Bones, muscles, organs appeared in the air. May I present our biological adaptations? The orange tentacled alien moved closer to the images. Your skeletal structure is incredibly dense. These bones are 3 times thicker than they should be for your body size. Yes, our bones developed to handle Earth's gravity, explained. Human children often break bones while playing. The bones heal stronger than before. This is normal for us. Normal? The furry alien looked shocked. Breaking bones is a death sentence for my species. Our bones cannot regenerate. Human bones can heal completely in 6 to 8 weeks, said. Sometimes faster. The jellyfish alien pulsed with yellow light. Show us your temperature regulation data. How do you survive the extreme heat and cold? Expanded one of the holograms. Humans can survive in temperatures from -40 to +50 Celsius. We have several adaptation systems. When hot, we secrete liquid through our skin. This liquid evaporates and cools us. You leak fluids, asked a small, gray alien. That would cause dehydration. We drink water to replace the fluids, said. An average human drinks 2 liters per day, more in hot weather. 2 liters, that is half your blood volume. The gray alien's voice rose. Every day. Water is very common on Earth. It falls from the sky regularly. Council leader touched his screen. Rain. Yes, I see this in the data. Your world has a water cycle. Oceans evaporate, form clouds, then liquid falls onto the land. He looked up. This falling water sometimes freezes into solid ice while falling. We call that hail, said, or snow depending on the formation. And this happens regularly. Solid ice falling from the sky. Looked like he could not believe what he was reading. In some seasons and regions, yes. The reptilian alien hissed again. What about your immune system? The data shows you have specialized cells that attack foreign organisms. Explain this. Nodded. Earth has many bacteria and viruses. Our bodies have white blood cells that identify and destroy harmful microorganisms. Our immune system keeps a memory of past infections and builds resistance. You are constantly at war with microscopic invaders. The jellyfish alien pulsed rapidly, every moment of every day. Our bodies handle it automatically. We do not think about it, said. Before anyone could respond, the chamber doors opened. Another human walked in. She was wearing the same blue uniform as. Her dark hair was pulled back and she carried a large container. Ah, this is my colleague, said. She is a. Bowed slightly to the council. Honorable members, I apologize for the interruption. I have brought samples that might help explain Earth life better than words can. Council leader waved one hand. Very well, what samples have you brought? Place the container on the floor. It was transparent, about 1 meter wide. Inside was something small and furry. This is a common Earth animal. We keep them in our homes. The orange alien moved back. That is a predator. I can see the teeth, the claws. This is a cat, said. She is named. She weighs 4 kilograms. It has retractable claws, the crystalline alien observed. And eyes designed for night hunting. Look at those pupils. They can expand to catch minimal light. Opened a small door in the container. The cat walked out, looked around at all the aliens, then sat down and began cleaning its paw with its tongue. By the stars, it is not afraid, whispered the furry alien. It sees 47 different alien species and shows no fear. Is curious about you, said, but she is domesticated. Humans have lived with cats for 10,000 years. The cat suddenly jumped. In one smooth motion, it leaped from the floor to a table 2 meters away. The aliens near the table moved back quickly, sat on the table and looked at them with calm eyes. Did you see that jump? The orange alien's tentacles were shaking. Its leg muscles generated force equal to 10 times its body weight, and it landed perfectly. Those reflexes are extraordinary. Cats are hunters, explained. In nature, they catch small animals for food, birds, rodents, insects. You keep a hunter in your homes, asked, around your young. Yes, they are companions. Many humans love cats, smiled. Would you like to see what else lives on Earth? She pulled out a tablet and showed images. Birds with sharp beaks, fish with teeth, insects with stingers. Each image made the aliens more uncomfortable. These are all common animals, asked the gray alien. Very common. These live near human cities and homes. The reptilian alien studied the images. And what do humans fear on your world? What are your predators? And exchanged a glance, spoke carefully. Humans are the apex predators on Earth. We have no natural predators anymore. Any more, leaned forward, meaning you had predators in the past. Our ancestors were prey animals millions of years ago, explained. Large cats hunted early humans, bears, wolves, crocodiles. But as we developed tools and intelligence, we became the dominant species. You fought off predators with tools. The furry alien sounded amazed. And cooperation, added. Humans work together in groups. One human might fall to a large predator. 10 humans working together could drive it away or kill it. Pulled up another hologram. This is human endurance data. We can run for hours without stopping. Most Earth predators are faster in short bursts, but humans can track them until they are exhausted. We call this persistence hunting. You chase prey until it dies from exhaustion. The jellyfish alien's color turned dark purple. That is terrifying. It is how our ancestors survived, said simply. Council leader stood up again. He walked around the hologram of Earth, studying it from all angles. Let me understand this correctly. Your world tried to kill you with gravity, temperature extremes, natural disasters, predators, and diseases. Instead of dying, you evolved to handle all of this. You became stronger, faster, more resilient. You developed internal defense systems. You learned to sweat, to heal, to adapt. Yes, both humans said together. And now you keep the predators as pets, continued. You live in areas with volcanoes and earthquakes. You drink corrosive water. You breathe high-pressure oxygen. You break bones and heal them. You fight infections every day without thinking about it. Correct, said. Turn to face them directly. What do humans actually fear? If your world cannot kill you, what causes you concern? Thought for a moment, then he smiled just a little. Each other sometimes, and the unknown. We fear what we do not understand. Not your environment, asked the orange alien. Not the death world you live on. Earth is home, said gently. We do not fear our home, we respect it. We adapt to it, but fear it, no. The cat jumped down from the table and walked back to. She rubbed against its legs, purring loudly. The sound made several aliens jump. What is that noise? The gray alien asked nervously. She is happy, said, picking up the cat. This is how cats show contentment. Council leader sat back down. He looked at his fellow council members. Many of them looked confused. Some looked scared. A few looked interested, leaning forward to see the cat better. Human, said slowly. You have given us much to consider, but I must be honest. We find it difficult to believe that intelligent, cooperative beings evolved on such a hostile world. We need proof of your capabilities. What kind of proof? Asked. Exchanged glances with other council members. We will design tests, fair tests. If humans can demonstrate the abilities you claim, we will reconsider your application. Nodded, we accept. What will these tests involve? The crystalline alien spoke up. We will create scenarios that match your planetary data. If you truly evolved on Earth, these conditions should be manageable for you. But for any other known species, they would be impossible. When do we begin? Asked. We need time to design appropriate challenges, said. Return to your ship. We will contact you within 2 planetary rotations. The 2 humans bowed and turned to leave, carried back to the container. As they walked toward the doors, they could hear the aliens beginning to argue among themselves. In the corridor outside, let out a long breath. That went better than expected. Did it? Asked. They think we are either lying or monsters. They are scared, said. But scared means they believe us. Now we just have to prove we are worth having around. Nodded. Let's hope the tests are not too difficult. Laughed. Difficult for them, maybe. For us, it will be interesting to see what they think is impossible. 2 days later, received the message. The council was ready to begin testing. He gathered the human team in their ship's common area. There were 5 of them total now, and were the scientists. The others had arrived specifically for the tests. Was young, only 23 years old. He was a soldier from Earth's peacekeeping forces. His hair was cut very short and he stood very straight. He looked nervous but determined. Sarah was an engineer. She was 30 years old with kind eyes and quick hands. She could fix almost anything mechanical. She wore a tool belt even now out of habit. The last team member was already on the council station. Her name was written on the manifest, but they had not met her yet. "The first test is for you," said, reading from his tablet. "They want to test human endurance and combat ability." "What are the conditions?" asked. "High gravity environment, extended duration mission simulation. They have set the gravity to match Earth standard." Frowned. "That is 3 times normal galactic standard. They really want to see if we can move in our own gravity." "What is the mission objective?" asked. Scrolled down. "Navigate through a combat course, solve tactical problems, and maintain performance for 48 hours straight." 48 hours, Sora looked surprised. "Without sleep." "Without sleep, without breaks, while fighting simulated enemies," confirmed. "For any other species, this would be impossible. Most aliens need rest every 6 to 8 hours, and in Earth gravity, they cannot move at all." Stood up. "I can do this. When do I start?" "In 1 hour. Are you sure?" asked. "There is no shame in declining an impossible test." "It is not impossible," said with a small smile. "I have done 72-hour exercises on Earth, in desert conditions. This is just higher gravity than I am used to on the station." 1 hour later stood in a large chamber. The walls were made of metal. Obstacles filled the space, walls to climb, tunnels to crawl through, platforms to jump between. Holographic enemies appeared randomly. His objective was to reach certain checkpoints and complete tasks while avoiding or defeating the enemies. In the observation room above, the council members watched on screens and stood with them. Council leader adjusted the gravity settings himself. "Beginning now," said. "Gravity set to Earth standard, 9.8 meters per second squared." The change was instant. On the screen, Sneeze bent slightly as the gravity increased. Then he straightened and began to run. The orange-tentacled alien gasped. "He is moving. At that gravity, he is running." Reached the first obstacle, a 3-meter wall. Without hesitation, he jumped, grabbed the top and pulled himself up. His muscles worked smoothly. He dropped down the other side and kept running. "Impossible," whispered the crystalline alien. "That jump required strength equal to lifting his entire body weight, plus the gravitational force. His muscles should tear." "Human muscles are very dense," explained. "They evolved to handle this." For hours they watched move through the course. He solved puzzles, fought holographic enemies, and navigated obstacles. Sometimes he slowed down, sometimes he breathed harder, but he never stopped. At hour 12, the furry alien spoke. He must rest soon. All biological creatures need rest. But did not rest. He kept moving. At hour 20, he was moving slower but still completing tasks. At hour 30, sweat covered his face but his eyes stayed focused. "He is operating on pure determination now," observed. "His body must be screaming for rest." "Humans can push past physical limits," said. "We have chemicals in our brains that suppress pain and exhaustion. Adrenaline, endorphins, cortisol. They let us keep going when stopping means death." At hour 42, stumbled. He caught himself on a wall, breathing hard. The aliens leaned forward, expecting him to collapse. Instead, closed his eyes for 10 seconds. Then he opened them and kept going. When the timer reached 48 hours exactly, an alarm sounded. Had completed the test. He had hit every checkpoint, solved every puzzle, and defeated every enemy. He stood in the center of the chamber, swaying slightly but standing. Medical staff rushed in to check him. They found elevated heart rate, dehydration, and muscle fatigue, but nothing permanent, nothing dangerous. Within 6 hours of rest and fluids was back to normal. The council chamber was silent. as the members reviewed the data. The second test came the next day. This was for Sora, the engineer. The council had prepared a different challenge. Environmental adaptation, council leader explained. We have created two chambers. One is extremely hot, one is extremely cold. Both are outside normal habitat range for any council species. You must repair critical systems in both chambers. Sora looked at the specifications. 45 degrees Celsius in the hot chamber, -30 in the cold chamber. Correct, said. The repairs should take approximately 4 hours in each chamber, 8 hours total. You may use protective equipment. I will not need it, Sora said quietly. The aliens exchanged confused looks. No protective suit, asked the gray alien. Those temperatures will kill you. They are uncomfortable, Sora admitted, but not deadly, not for humans. She entered the hot chamber first. The aliens watched as she began working on the damaged systems. Sweat appeared on her skin quickly. It dripped down her face and arms, but her hands stayed steady. She connected wires, replaced components, and calibrated systems. She is leaking fluids at an incredible rate, the jellyfish alien noted. She should be unconscious from dehydration. She is sweating, explained again. The evaporation cools her skin. She will drink water later to replace the fluids. After 4 hours, Sora emerged from the hot chamber. Her uniform was soaked with sweat, but she was smiling. Cooling system is repaired. Where is the cold chamber? She drank 2 liters of water, ate some food, and then entered the cold chamber. This time the aliens watched her body react differently. Her skin became pale. She shivered constantly. Her breath came out in white clouds. She is freezing, the orange alien said. We must stop the test. No, said, watch her hands. Despite the shivering, Sora's hands remained steady. She worked methodically, making no mistakes. The shivering was generating heat, keeping her core temperature stable. After 4 hours in the cold, Sora completed the second repair. She walked out of the chamber, shivering hard, and immediately wrapped herself in a warm blanket. Within 30 minutes, she had stopped shivering. Within 2 hours, she was completely normal again. Remarkable, said softly. Her body adapted to both extremes and recovered quickly from both. The third test was not planned. It happened on the 4th day of the testing period. An alarm suddenly blared through the station. Red lights flashed. An automated voice announced, "Collision warning, debris field approaching. Impact in 12 minutes." In the council chamber, the aliens began to panic. Some ran for the escape pods. Others froze in place, unable to process the emergency. Council protocols required a committee to form and discuss response options. This took time they did not have. Was already moving. He ran to the nearest console and pulled up the station schematics. Get to engineering. We need to reroute power to the shields. On it said already running. Sora, the shield generators on the east side are offline. Can you fix them? 12 minutes. I can try, Sora said, grabbing her tools. Evacuate civilians to the central core. It has the strongest shielding. Started directing confused aliens toward the safe zones. He spoke calmly but firmly. The aliens, seeing someone taking charge, followed his instructions. A 5th human appeared then. She ran into the chamber wearing a medical badge. She was young, with sharp eyes and steady hands. I am Jinnah, she said quickly. Medical officer, what do you need? Triage station in the central core, said without looking up from the console. Some aliens are going into shock from panic. They need help. Understood, Jinnah said and ran toward the core area. The humans moved with practiced efficiency. There was no discussion, no committees, no debate. Each person knew what to do and did it immediately. Reached engineering and started rerouting power. The controls were designed for alien physiology, but she adapted quickly. Power to shields increasing, 30%, 50%. Sara was in a maintenance tunnel, working in low light with limited space. Her tools moved fast. Generator 1 online, working on Generator 2. Jinnah set up the medical area and began treating aliens in shock. She spoke softly to them, calming them while working. Breathe slowly. You are safe. The humans are fixing the problem. Had moved over 200 aliens to the core. Many were larger than him, but he guided them patiently. One large alien fell in panic. Using his earth-trained muscles, helped the creature stand and walk. Coordinated everything from the central console. His fingers flew over the controls. Debris impact in 4 minutes. Shields at 70%. Sara, I need that second generator. Working on it, Sara's voice came back. These alien connectors are tricky. 3 minutes. Almost there. 2 minutes. Got it, Sara shouted. Generator 2 online. Shields at full power, confirmed. All civilians in the core. 1 minute, said. Everyone brace. The station shook as debris hit the shields. The impact sounded like thunder. Aliens screamed. But the shields held. The generators that Sara repaired worked perfectly. The power that rerouted kept everything stable. After 90 seconds of bombardment, the debris field passed. Silence fell over the station. Slowly, the aliens emerged from the core area. They looked around at the humans, who were now calmly checking systems and helping with minor injuries. Council leader approached. You responded instantly. There was no discussion, no planning period, you just acted. The situation required immediate action, said simply. On Earth, we face emergencies often. Earthquakes, fires, floods, we learn to respond fast. Your species works together without communication, the crystalline alien asked. Each person knew their role. We have training, explained. But also, we understand each other. We trust each other to do what needs to be done. Looked at who was helping an elderly alien walk. He looked at Sara, who was explaining the repairs to the station engineers. He looked at Jinnah, who was bandaging a minor cut on a frightened alien child. You did not just save yourselves, said slowly. You saved all of us. Your instinct was not to flee but to protect everyone on the station. Of course, said, looking confused. Why would we only save ourselves? The council members looked at each other. Something had changed in their expressions. The fear was still there, but now there was something else too. Respect, maybe, or understanding. The emergency alert came 3 days after the debris field incident. Everyone on the council station heard the message. A colony ship was in trouble. It carried 500 passengers from 3 different species. The ship was caught in the gravity well of a volcanic planet, and its engines were failing. In the council chamber, representatives gathered quickly. The holographic display showed the planet, dark red surface, rivers of glowing lava, constant volcanic eruptions. Thick clouds of ash covered most of the atmosphere. The colony ship has 12 hours before the orbit decays completely, the orange tentacled alien said, studying the data. After that, it will crash into the surface. What is the planet's classification? Asked council leader. The crystalline alien checked her console. Class 8 Death World. Surface temperature averages 60 degrees Celsius. Atmospheric composition includes sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and ash particles. Seismic activity is constant. Multiple active volcanoes. Can we send rescue ships? Asked. No species on the council can survive those conditions, the furry alien said sadly. Even our best environmental suits would fail within minutes. The heat would melt the seals. The toxic atmosphere would corrode the metal. The ash would clog all systems. The gray alien pulled up more data. The colony ship's shields are protecting the passengers from the heat and toxins, but shields require power. The engines that provide power are damaged. Without repairs, the shields will fail in 8 hours. Then the passengers will die. Can we repair the engines remotely? Someone asked. No, the repairs require physical work. Someone must go aboard the ship, access the engine compartment, and replace the damaged components. In those atmospheric conditions, it is impossible. The chamber fell silent. 500 lives and no way to save them. Had been standing quietly in the back of the chamber. Now he stepped forward. My team can do it. Every alien turned to look at him. The expression was confused. Human, did you hear the specifications? 60-degree heat, toxic atmosphere, volcanic activity. I heard, said. Those conditions are similar to some areas on Earth. We have deserts that reach 55 degrees. We have volcanic regions with similar atmospheric composition. Humans have worked in these conditions before. For 12 hours, the orange alien's tentacles waved doubtfully, constantly exposed. Our team has a pilot, 2 engineers, and a medical officer. We have the equipment we need. We can reach the colony ship, make the repairs, and return. Stepped up beside. The conditions are harsh but not impossible for humans. We volunteer to attempt the rescue. Looked at the other council members. The furry alien spoke softly. If they fail, we lose the humans too. Is this wise? If we do nothing, 500 people die for certain, said. If we try, maybe everyone lives. The choice seems clear to me. After a moment nodded. Very well, you have permission to attempt the rescue. May fortune favor you. 1 hour later, the human team gathered in their shuttle. Minyu was the pilot. He was 40 years old with gray hair at his temples and steady eyes. He had flown in Earth's worst storms. He checked the shuttle systems while the others prepared. Atmospheric entry will be rough, Minyu said. The ash clouds will reduce visibility to almost zero. I will need to fly by instruments alone. Can you do it? Asked. I have flown through dust storms in the Gobi Desert, Minyu said calmly. I have landed in typhoon conditions. This will be challenging but possible. Sara and checked their tools. They would be doing the actual repairs. Jinnah prepared her medical kit, would provide security and assist wherever needed. The aliens watched from the station as the human shuttle detached and flew toward the planet. The volcanic world looked angry, glowing red and orange against the darkness of space. They are insane, the gray alien whispered. Brave but insane. The shuttle entered the atmosphere. Immediately, ash began pelting the hull. The sound was like constant thunder. Inside, the humans felt the shuttle shake and buck. Visibility 0, Minyu reported. Switching to instrument flight, everyone hold on. Through the ash clouds, Minyu piloted the shuttle using only the sensors. He avoided the worst of the turbulence, found thermal currents to ride, and kept the shuttle stable. It was like threading a needle while blindfolded, but his hands never shook. I see the colony ship, Minyu said. Matching orbit now. The shuttle connected to the colony ship's airlock. Inside the ship, frightened aliens huddled together. They stared when the humans entered. Some had never seen humans before. We are here to help, said clearly. Where is your captain? A tall alien with blue scales came forward. I am captain. You are the rescue team, but you are not wearing environmental suits. We do not need them yet, said. Show us the engine compartment. Captain led them through the ship. The interior was hot. The shields were holding but barely. Heat was seeping through. The damage is in the primary engine core. We tried to access it, but the compartment is exposed to the outside atmosphere. Anyone who enters will be breathing the toxic air. We brought breathing equipment, said, holding up modified oxygen masks. These will filter the worst of the toxins. But the heat, Captain looked worried. 60 degrees Celsius. Uncomfortable but survivable, Sora said. She was already putting on her mask. Let us see the damage. They entered the engine compartment. The heat hit them immediately, like opening an oven door. Sweat formed on their skin instantly. The air smelled of sulfur and burning rock. Through the exposed section, they could see lava flows on the planet's surface below. By the ancestors, Captain said, watching from the doorway. You can move in this heat. And Sora were already examining the damaged engine core. Their hands worked quickly despite the sweat. The power coupling is fried, said, and the coolant lines are melted. We have replacements, Sora said, opening her toolkit. This will take about 6 hours. 6 hours in these conditions? Captain looked amazed. Maybe less if we work fast, Sora said. She did not seem bothered by the heat. For the next 6 hours the two women worked. Sweat soaked their clothes. Their faces were red from the heat, but their hands never shook. They replaced components, rewired systems, and tested each repair carefully. Jinnah monitored their vital signs with a medical scanner. Heart rates elevated but stable, core temperature rising but within safe limits, hydration levels decreasing. You need to drink water every 30 minutes. The humans drank water while working. They took no other breaks, stood guard, helping hand them tools and watching for any problems. Outside the ship, Minyu kept the shuttle positioned carefully. The volcanic planet's gravity tried to pull them down. Ash storms battered the hull, but Minyu adjusted constantly, keeping them stable. Inside the council station, the aliens watched the progress on their screens. The orange-tentacled alien studied the humans' vital signs. Their body temperature is 41 degrees Celsius. That should cause organ failure. But it is not, the crystalline alien said. Look at their efficiency. They are working as well now as they did in the first hour. Humans can maintain high body temperature for extended periods, a voice said. It was one of the aliens that the humans had saved during the debris field emergency. I have read about their biology. They evolved in hot climates. Their bodies expect heat stress. On the colony ship, Sora connected the final wire. Power coupling replaced. Testing now. The engine core hummed to life. Power flowed through the systems. The ship's lights brightened. The shields strengthened. It works, Captain shouted. You did it. Wipe sweat from her face. Coolant lines are holding. Temperature is stabilizing. Your engines are back online. Captain immediately gave orders. The colony ship's engines fired, pulling them away from the planet's gravity well. As they climbed toward safer orbit, everyone on board cheered. The human team returned to their shuttle. They were exhausted, soaked with sweat and breathing hard, but they were smiling. Good work, everyone, Minyu said from the pilot's seat. Let's go home. The shuttle detached and began the flight back to the council station. As they climbed through the ash clouds, Minyu spoke again. You know, this heat reminds me of Summer Inn. Laughed, Summer Inn is not this hot. Maybe not 60 degrees, Minyu admitted, but close, 55 on the worst days. You are joking about the heat, asked, but she was smiling too. After 6 hours of working in an oven. What else should we do? Sora asked. Complaining does not make it cooler. When they docked at the council station, hundreds of aliens were waiting. The crowd parted as the humans walked through. Many of the aliens bowed. Some reached out to touch the humans' hands or shoulders as they passed. Council leader stood at the front of the crowd. Next to him was Captain and several passengers from the colony ship. You saved 500 lives today, said quietly. Lives that we had given up for lost. You went into conditions that would kill any of us in minutes, and you came back alive. We came back successful, corrected gently. That is what matters. Captain stepped forward. He was a large alien, much bigger than any human, but he bowed deeply to the team. I asked my people what they thought when they saw you working in that heat. Do you know what they said? What? Asked. They said you did not look like you were suffering. You looked like you were just doing your job, like working in hell was normal for you. Minyu smiled. It was not hell, hell would be worse. Worse than 60 degrees and toxic air. The orange-tentacled alien sounded shocked. Earth has places that are worse, Sora said. We have volcanic regions that reach 70 degrees. We have toxic gas vents. We have areas where the ground itself is on fire, burning underground for years. And humans live near these places, asked the furry alien. Sometimes in these places, said, we build cities near volcanoes because the soil is fertile. We work in mines with toxic gases. We adapt. The gray alien spoke up. What could possibly threaten a species like yours? You survive heat that melts our suits. You work in poison that corrodes our ships. You do not fear what we call death worlds. What do you fear? The human team looked at each other. It was Jinnah who answered. She had been quiet during most of the conversation, but now she spoke clearly. We fear failing to help, she said. We fear letting others down when we could have made a difference. We fear becoming the kind of people who turn away when someone needs help. The council chamber was completely silent. Every alien was looking at the humans with new understanding. Council leader nodded slowly. I begin to understand now. Your world made you strong, but you chose to make yourselves kind. That is the real difference. Captain spoke again. If humans can be this strong and this compassionate, I would be honored to call them allies. Around the chamber, other aliens nodded in agreement. The fear in their eyes had changed to something else. Respect, hope, maybe even friendship. Tomorrow we vote on Earth's membership, said. Tonight, we celebrate the rescue of 500 lives, thanks to the humans who went into hell and came back smiling. The council chamber was full. Every representative from every member world had come for the final vote on Earth's membership. The humans sat in a special section near the front. Sara, Jinnah, and Minu all wore their formal blue uniforms. Council leader stood at the center podium. We have observed the humans for 2 weeks. We have tested them. We have seen them in action during a real emergency. Today, we vote on whether Earth should join the Galactic Council. The orange tentacled alien raised one tentacle. Before we vote, I wish to speak. You have the floor, said. I was one of the first to call Earth a death world. I said humans could not possibly have evolved there. I was wrong. The aliens' tentacles moved in what might have been embarrassment. I have studied their biology, their history, their culture. What I learned changed my mind completely. The alien pulled up holographic images. They showed Earth's history. Early humans hunting with simple tools, building shelters from stone and wood, creating fire, developing agriculture. Humans did not just survive Earth. They thrived there. They took a world that tried to kill them every day and made it home. They turned predators into companions. They built cities in earthquake zones. They farmed land near volcanoes. They adapted to every climate, every challenge. The crystalline alien spoke next. I wish to add something. I reviewed the humans' response during the debris field emergency. They did not panic. They did not flee. Their first instinct was to protect everyone on the station, not just themselves. This is what impressed me most, said the furry alien. Humans are strong, yes. They can survive in conditions that would kill us, but they choose to use that strength to help others. They went into a volcanic hell to save strangers. That speaks to their character. The gray alien stood. I have a concern I wish to share. Humans are stronger than us, more resilient, better adapted to harsh conditions. If we allow them into the council, will they dominate us? Will they become conquerors? The chamber became quiet. It was a fair question. Many aliens had been thinking the same thing. Stood up, may I address the council? Nodded, please, human. Walked to the center of the chamber. She carried a small data tablet. You have learned about human strength, our ability to survive harsh environments, our endurance, our adaptations, but there is something more important about humanity that you have not fully understood. She activated the tablet. New images appeared in the air around the chamber. These showed different scenes from Earth's history. Humans working together to build structures. Humans sharing food during famines. Humans carrying injured friends to safety. Humans teaching children. Humans did not survive Earth alone, said. We survived together. Our greatest strength is not our muscles or our immune systems. It is our ability to cooperate. She showed an image of early humans hunting a large animal. One human cannot bring down a mammoth, but 10 humans working together can. We learned this millions of years ago. Another image appeared, a human village. One human cannot build a city, but thousands of humans, each contributing their skills, can create something amazing. We share knowledge. We teach each other. We build on what others have learned. The jellyfish alien pulsed with interest. But many species cooperate. What makes humans different? We cooperate with strangers, said simply. Most species only work closely with family or clan. Humans work with anyone who shares a common goal. We helped you during the debris emergency. We rescued the colony ship even though we had never met those passengers before. Stood and joined at the center. Earth tried to kill us, predators hunted us, diseases infected us, earthquakes destroyed our homes, droughts starved us, but we survived because we refused to let these challenges divide us. He gestured to the other humans. Is from the southern part of Earth. Sara is from the east. Minu is from the center. Jinnah is from the west. We come from different regions with different cultures and different languages, but we work together perfectly because we share a common humanity. You fear we will conquer you, said, looking at the gray alien. But human history shows something different. Yes, we have fought wars. Yes, we have had conflicts. But over time, we have learned to choose cooperation over competition. We have learned that working together makes everyone stronger. She showed images of Earth's modern cities, different types of humans living together. On Earth today, humans from all regions work together. We share technology. We share resources. We help each other during disasters, not because we are forced to, but because we choose to. The crystalline alien made a musical sound. You are saying your strength comes from choice, from choosing to help others even when you do not have to. Exactly, said. Earth made us strong enough to survive alone, but we chose to be kind enough to thrive together. Council leader looked thoughtful. This explains something that confused us. During the volcanic planet rescue, you were exhausted. The heat was extreme. You could have given up at any point. No one would have blamed you, but you continued. Why? Jinnah stood up to answer. Because 500 people needed help, because we could help, because that is what humans do. Even when it is difficult, asked the orange alien. Especially when it is difficult, Jinnah said. Anyone can help when it is easy. The measure of character is helping when it is hard. Nodded slowly. I see. You have answered the Council's concerns well, but I have one final question. What does Earth want from the Galactic Council? What do you hope to gain from membership? And looked at each other, then spoke. We want to learn from you. You have technologies we do not have. You have knowledge from thousands of years of space exploration. You have cultures and perspectives we cannot imagine. And what will you give in return? Asked. Whatever you need, said. If you need work done in harsh environments, we can do it. If you need rescues in dangerous conditions, we can help. If you need endurance or strength or adaptability, we have those things. But more than that, added, we offer friendship. We offer cooperation. We offer the willingness to work together for common goals. We do not want to dominate anyone. We want to join you as equals. The furry alien stood. I have decided. I vote yes for Earth's membership. Humans may be strong, but they are also kind. That combination is rare and valuable. One by one, other aliens stood to voice their support. The crystalline alien voted yes. The orange tentacled alien voted yes. More and more voices joined in agreement. When the voting ended, 45 out of 47 worlds had voted yes. Only 2 had abstained, and 0 had voted no. Council leader smiled, which for his species involved showing many small teeth. By the authority of the Galactic Council, I welcome Earth as our member world. Welcome, humanity, to the larger community of species. The chamber erupted in celebration. Aliens approached the humans, wanting to shake hands or touch shoulders or perform their species' version of congratulations. The humans accepted each greeting with smiles and bows. Captain, the alien whose ship had been rescued, pushed through the crowd. "I have a request for the humans." "What do you need?" asked. "My people are establishing a new colony. The world has good resources but harsh conditions. Frequent storms, seismic activity, high temperatures. Most species consider it too difficult. Would humans be willing to help us set up the initial infrastructure?" Sora stepped forward. "We would be happy to help. Send us the specifications." A small alien with silver skin approached Jinnah. "I run a medical facility on a frontier station. We treat many species but lack knowledge about emergency medicine. Could you teach my staff your techniques?" "I would love to," Jinnah said warmly. "Human emergency medicine developed because of Earth's dangers. We can share what we have learned." More requests came. A mining company wanted human engineers for work in toxic environments. An exploration team wanted human consultants for a mission to uncharted hostile worlds. A research station wanted to study human biology and adaptations. The humans accepted every reasonable request. They made plans, exchanged contact information, and began forming partnerships with aliens from across the galaxy. 3 months later, Earth's official embassy opened on the Council Station. It was a strange building by alien standards. The gravity inside was set to Earth normal, 3 times what most aliens could tolerate. The temperature was warm. Plants grew in every room, flowering plants, trees, even a small vegetable garden. Aliens visited the embassy carefully, using special gravity assist belts. They stared at the plants in wonder. Many had never seen so much green growing freely. "These are Earth plants," explained to a group of visitors. "On the left is bamboo. It can grow a meter per day. On the right are cacti. They store water and survive in extreme heat. Behind us is a fern that has existed since before the dinosaurs." "And this?" asked a young alien, pointing at a small plant with white flowers. "A jasmine plant. It smells beautiful in the evening." The alien leaned closer, careful not to touch. "It has thorns." "Many earth plants have defenses," said. "Thorns, poisons, tough bark. They need to protect themselves from animals that would eat them." "Everything on your world is a survivor," the alien said with wonder. "Everything on every world is a survivor," corrected gently. "You survived by finding perfect conditions and thriving there. We survived by adapting to imperfect conditions. Different strategies, but both successful." In another part of the embassy, met with council members to discuss a new initiative. Earth wanted to establish an emergency response team. Humans would be available to help during disasters in harsh environments. "We are not trying to replace your emergency services," explained. "We want to supplement them. When conditions are too extreme for normal rescue operations, humans can help." "You would do this voluntarily?" asked Council Leader. "We would do it as our contribution to the Council," said. "You share your technology with us. We share our abilities with you. Everyone benefits." The proposal was accepted unanimously. On Earth itself, the news of Council membership brought celebration. Humans around the world watched the broadcast from space. They saw their representatives working with aliens. They saw the respect humans had earned. But the celebrations were not about dominance or superiority. They were about connection, about finally meeting other intelligent life, about joining a larger community. In classrooms on Earth, children learned about the different alien species. They learned about the floating cities of the gaseous beings, the crystal caverns of the mineral-based life forms, the underwater kingdoms of the aquatic species. "The galaxy is full of different kinds of people," teachers explained. "We are all different, but we can all work together." back on the council station, joined a multi-species exploration team. They were heading to a cluster of unmapped star systems. The mission would take 2 years and involve landing on potentially hostile worlds. "Are you sure you want to do this?" the team leader asked. She was a tall alien with green skin. "It will be dangerous." "I am sure," said. "Earth trained me for danger. Now I want to see what else is out there." Minyu became a pilot trainer, teaching aliens how to fly in difficult atmospheric conditions. His students were terrified at first, but Minyu was patient. "Fear is natural," he told them. "But fear should not stop you. It should make you more careful, more prepared. Use the fear. Do not let it use you." Sora worked with alien engineers on new technologies that combined human durability with alien innovation. They developed suits that could withstand even harsher conditions than humans could naturally tolerate. They created tools that worked in extreme environments. Jinnah established a medical exchange program. Alien doctors came to Earth to study in human hospitals, experiencing emergency medicine firsthand. Human doctors went to alien worlds to learn their techniques. Knowledge flowed both ways, making everyone better healers. One evening, all the humans gathered at the embassy for dinner. They sat around a table with food from Earth: rice, vegetables, grilled meat, kimchi. It was a small piece of home in the vastness of space. "Do you ever miss Earth?" Sora asked. "Every day," Minyu admitted. "I miss the mountains, the way the air smells after rain." "I miss the ocean," Jinnah said, "the sound of waves." "But we are doing good work here," said. "We are building bridges between species. That is worth some homesickness." Raised his glass of water. "To Earth, the world that made us strong." "To Earth," the others echoed. "And to the galaxy," added, "the community that lets us use that strength for good." They drank together, these 6 humans who had changed the galaxy's understanding of what was possible. They were not conquerors. They were not monsters. They were simply people who had learned to thrive in difficult conditions and chose to share that knowledge with others. Outside the embassy windows, stars filled the darkness of space. Somewhere among those stars was Earth, the blue planet that everyone had thought was uninhabitable, the death world that had created life. And now, Earth's children were teaching the galaxy what they had learned: that strength without kindness is meaningless, that survival without cooperation is hollow, and that the hardest conditions can create the gentlest hearts. The Council had feared humans would be too dangerous to accept. Instead, they discovered humans were exactly what the galaxy needed, not because humans were strong, but because they chose to be kind. Not because they could survive anything, but because they refused to let anyone suffer alone. Earth had taught humanity to survive. The galaxy was teaching humanity to thrive. And together, all species were learning what it meant to truly cooperate across the stars.